Are we good now? Awesome. Sorry about that. Bonjour. Welcome to Wahsa Distance Education Center's radio Zoom classes. This is MEL3E, grade 11 workplace, math, and I am Bronwyn Slate. Today we're going to be finishing up lesson 4 and starting lesson 5. So it's a little bit of a split class, just so you're warned. Alright, if you'd like to participate live today, the Wahsa Studio, you can call the Wahsa Studio at 1-800-465-7144 or 737-4017. You can listen on the radio at 91.9 FM or on the television at Bell Express View Channel 972. You are always welcome to join me live through the Zoom link, which is available from me, your teacher, and also your DEC. Our classes are scheduled Monday through Thursday from 9 to 10 in the morning, and we are in week 2 of our 9-week course. Just so you know what work to submit once you get to that point for marking, the support questions are the ones marked with the pencil icons, and they are not for marking. You decide which ones to do and how many to do. They're practice questions. So if you're understanding a concept, feel free to skip questions. But if you need more practice, let me know and I can hook you up with more. The key questions, the ones marked with the key icon, are the ones to submit for me to grade. So please do all of those questions showing all of your work, your steps, your thinking. This way I can give you credit for all of your understanding. And also if you're struggling with something, it helps me understand what you're struggling with so I can support you. There are 3 different methods to submit your work for marking. So the first method is to scan and send your work in electronically. If you have a smartphone, you can scan your work through the iPhone Notes app or through the Android Google Drive app. If you don't have a smartphone and you just want to send me a picture, that's okay too. Just pictures take a little bit more data and a little bit more to send, so scanning it would make it a little bit easier. Then you can send it by email to studentwork@nnec.on.ca and CC it to bronwyn.slate@nnec.on.ca, or you can send it to me through Facebook Messenger to bslatewahsa. The second method is to drop it off in Sioux Lookout. We have an outdoor mailbox at 74 Front Street. We're the big red building next to the post office, and there's a small white mailbox next to our side entrance. We continue to not be open to the public, but you can just drop it off there at any time, and then I'll get it and get it back to you as soon as I can. The third method is to hand your work into your DEC. Then your DEC can either send it through the Express or fax it to 807-737-1732 or toll-free fax to 1-800-463-7852. If you'd like to connect with me through social media, my Facebook and my YouTube channel are both under the name bslatewahsa, so you can find me there. If you friend me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you'll get notifications every time I upload one of our lessons. I generally upload them shortly after airing. It just takes a little bit of processing time, but then they're up there. You can access them whenever you want. There also are short videos explaining common errors and confusing concepts on my YouTube channel. So that's a great place to go if you're struggling with something, to look there first if there's something that I've addressed, and maybe that can help you out before you search the web in general, or, you can still ask me, but it's another place that you can just access it at any time. Math is a really visual subject, so I strongly encourage you to access the videos. If you can't join me live through Zoom, that's totally understandable. If you don't have reliable internet, that makes sense. That's okay. So just let me know and I can hook you up with recordings that you can access on a computer without internet. So just connect with me and I will send them out to you. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me. This is why I'm here. My email address is bronwyn.slate, which is spelled BRONWYN.SLATE@nnec.on.ca. My Facebook is bslatewahsa. The phone number at the office is 807-737-1488. And my extension is 2209. I'm currently having some issues with my voicemail, so if you do leave me a message and I don't return it to you, give me a call back and talk to the front desk or send me a message through the internet. Hopefully I can have access to my voicemail soon, but I don't yet. Toll free, you can call 1-800-667-3703, and my office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, and so you can I'll connect with you within those hours. All right, so today, as I said before, we are wrapping up Lesson 4, Paying Taxes, and we are starting Lesson 5, Making Purchases, which we will wrap up next lesson. So hopefully we'll get both these two lessons covered in these 3 sessions, and then moving on to Unit 2. Alright, so our learning goals for today are that at the end of this lesson, you will say, I will understand hidden taxes, and I will be able to explain how to make change in the most efficient methods. So you know, for your success criteria, you know you've met the learning goals because 1, I can calculate indirect taxes on cigarettes, jewelry, and gasoline, and 2, I can determine change received in making a variety of purchases. Right, so first let's activate our brain before we dive into our new concepts and do some mental math. I am not a believer in just repeating facts over and over again. Though memorization can be a useful tool, it isn't something that all of us do really well with. So instead of mad math minutes, which many of us experienced in elementary school, we work on developing strategies that we can use in various situations that really are based off of our comfort with numbers and using numbers that are friendly for ourselves. So today we're looking at the strategy of doubling and halving when we're multiplying. So I have 3 questions on my screen and they're all connected. So we, starting with 1 times 16, that is equal to 16. Most folks are fairly comfortable with their 1 times tables. 1 group of 16 is going to be 16 things. So then if you'll notice this pattern that I have doubled, so 1 I've times it by 2 in order to get 2, and 16 I've halved. So I've divided 16 by 2 to get 8. And so still 2 times 8 is still 16 because we've doubled one of our factors and we have halved our other factor. Our product is still the same. And then we can do that again. So we can double 2, so times it by 2, double it to get 4, and we can have 8 to divide it by 2 to equal 4. And so then, because we've still done the same thing where we've doubled one factor and have the other factor, we still get an answer equal to 16. So how this can be useful is if you get a question like 4 times 4 and you don't know what the answer is, you can double one of, you can go backwards. So you can double one of your factors and have the other one, and then maybe you know what 2 times 8 is. And if you don't know what that is, you can do the same. You can do it again, and you can double one of your factors, and you can have the other factor, and then you get to 1 times 16. And so maybe now you know what 1 times 16 is 16, and so that's the same as 4 times 4. And that's a strategy that can be really useful in many situations. All right, so mind's on. Let's engage in some prior learning to make sure that we have the skills that we need for today's new material. So we need to know how to find percentages when we're talking about taxes, and when we're talking about making purchases, percentages show up all over the place. So a percentage in mathematics is a number or ratio which can be represented as a fraction of 100. So the term percent originates from a Latin word per centum, which means per 100. Then the symbol we use is the one where we have a diagonal line with a 0 above and a 0 below, and it's used to denote percentage. So most people are familiar with a percentage symbol. So percentages are really part of our daily lives in various ways, but particularly with discounts, interest charged on loans to evaluate performance of students. So like you get a mark back and you get 85%. And also how value changes over time. So like with cars and property, these are all ways that we're going to be dealing with percent in our class. There are other ways, but these are some of the ways that it's going to show up in our class. So when we're actually calculating percentages, how do we do that? So there's 2 possible ways to find the percent of a number. The first is if we have our percentage, so we already know that our number is out of 100, so if it's in a decimal, then we just need to multiply the decimal number by 100 to find it to convert it to a percent. So if we're saying 0.5, we want that percentage, we do 0.5 times 100, and that's 50%. The second case involves a fraction. So if we're given a number and it's in fractional form, we have to convert it to a decimal first and then multiply it by 100. So for example, the percentage of 1 over 6, 1 divided by 6, is equal to, so you convert 1 over 6 to a decimal, which is 0.1666 rounded off, and then you times that by 100, which is equal to 16.7% because I rounded it off. So those are going to be useful things that we need. Moving on is just being comfortable with percentages. The second thing that we need to be comfortable with is different coin combinations to make money. So hopefully this is something that is fairly familiar with many of us, but we are using less and less money, cash. More and more we're using digital, debit or credit cards, e-transfers, things like that. But it's still important to be comfortable with coins and bills. So first off, remember that we don't have pennies in Canada anymore. So we can't use pennies in terms of our combination of money. So nickels are our lowest denomination. And also when we're making change, we want to make something that's logical. So we don't want to just like use all nickels, because realistically most of the time we're not going to use all nickels. Sometimes we might, because we might go through the change jar and that's what we got, but mostly we are going to be using things that are logical, that aren't all really, really small denominations. So here we have a couple of examples, and I'm just going to do it to show how we can make the same amount of money in multiple different ways. So we have, we want 65 cents, so we're going to do, how are we going to do that in two different ways? And I'm just going to write the values instead of drawing the bills and coins. I'm not an artist. So for 65 cents, I would say that 5 cents is one thing that I want to have, and then 10 cents, so that gives me 15 cents, and then I have 25 cents, and 25 cents gives me 50 cents, so I have 25 and 25 is 50, plus 10 is 60, plus 5 is 65. So that's one way that I can have make up 65 cents. Another way that maybe I would do it is maybe I would just have would have 10 cents, and 10 cents is 20 cents, and another 10 cents is 30 cents, and another 10 cents is 40 cents, and then maybe I'd have 25 cents, which is 65 cents. So that could be another way that I could make 65 cents. Then question B, we have $1 and 30 cents. So maybe I have a loonie, and then I have 25 cents, a quarter, and 5 cents, a nickel. Or maybe I have 5 quarters, so I have 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, and 25 cents is $1, and 25 cents is $1.25, and then 5 cents is 30 cents. And then I have $7.40, so maybe I have a $5 bill, and then a toonie, $2, so that's $7, and then 40 cents, I have 25 cents, and that's 25, and then 5 cents is 30, and 10 cents is 40. So that's one way, and then maybe another way, I have, say I have 3 toonies, so I have $2, $4, $6, and a loonie for $7, and then 40 cents, maybe I have 4 dimes. I have 4 10-cent coins, and that could be another way that I make up that money. So that's just how we can do it in different ways. So being comfortable with that is really important as we're talking about making change and moving forward. All right, so let's engage in our new topic that's in your IL booklet. So this is the end of lesson 4, and we're looking at hidden taxes. So people pay both direct and indirect taxes. Direct taxes are taxes like property tax, HST, and income tax. Indirect taxes are taxes that are included in the selling price of the item, and that's sometimes known as hidden taxes. So yesterday we talked about direct taxes, particularly income tax. Tomorrow, our next lesson, we're going to be talking about HST and other sales taxes. We're not really talking about property tax at this point. But then today we're focusing on indirect taxes, which are the ones that are sort of hidden within our purchase price, like and how much we just see them, like what the cost is. So first we're going to look at the jewelry tax, and this is on 35 of your IL book. So it is 10% of the wholesale price. So the price that the store pays is the wholesale price, and it's included in the store's asking price. So we don't have to add this on. In Canada, in Ontario, when we see a price on something, we then have to add on tax, our sales tax. That's not how they do it in everywhere else in the world, but that's how we do it in Canada. But with these hidden cost taxes, they're already in the asking price. We don't have to add them on top. So, for example, what is the amount of indirect tax that would be added to the sales price of a brooch of the wholesale price of $57? So this is the wholesale price. So this is how much the store is buying the brooch for, is $57. And so the jewelry tax is 10% of that. So $57, so times 10%. So to figure out how much we are going to have to add to that $57. So 10%, to actually calculate it, we would do 57 times 0.10, and so that is equal to $5.70. So then the total cost, so that's just the tax. So then the total cost is $57. Sorry, that was just messy. $57 plus $5.70. So that is equal to $62.70 is going to be the sales price. So that's how much, when you see it on the shelf or in the store or whatever, it's going to say that it's $62.70, and then sales tax would be added on top of that, but that's the price that we're going to see in terms of including that jewelry tax. Alright, so you can do the support questions on page 35. Question number 7 is the one that talks about jewelry tax. Alright, now we're going to look at cigarette tax, and this is also on page 35. So cigarette tax is a little bit different. In Ontario, there are 3 cigarette taxes included in the selling price of the cigarettes. So this is in addition to HST that is taxed on top of the selling price. So again, we're still paying that sales tax that we'll talk about next session. But these are just particular for cigarette taxes. So the prices in your IL booklet are old. I don't believe that a carton of 200 cigarettes is sold for $40.70. I think that would make lots of people happy, but I don't believe that that is true. I just haven't had a chance to update that, so I will update that for the future. So basing on that historical information, the provincial government collects $8.90. The federal government collects $6.85, and the federal government collects another $5.50. I don't exactly understand why it's broken up into 2. I haven't done a lot of research into cigarette taxes. This is just the information that we're given. So, but that's what it is at that time. So then, as of March 29th, 2018, the current tax rates are 18.475 cents per cigarette. So that's the tax that's added on into a pack of cigarettes, and then within a carton of cigarettes. If you are getting something other than a cigarette or cigars, that's like, but it's a tobacco product, then it's 18.75 cents per gram or part gram of tobacco product. So instead of it being a unit of cigarette, it's per gram. And then for cigars, it's 56.6% of the taxable price of a cigar is what's added on. So that's information to sort of have, but you can go off of what's on your IL booklet in terms of the 200 cigarettes, a carton carton of cigarettes being $40.70 for this time, that's fine. So let's look at the cost of a pack of cigarettes right now. So the pack of cigarette costs about $15 depending on the kind of cigarettes that you're buying, but let's go with $15 because that's a friendlier number, and it includes 25 cigarettes. So how much is a cigarette tax? So basing it off of the fact that it's 18.475 cents. I'm pretty sure that that's right. Remember that right? Yes. Per cigarette. So times that by 25 for a pack of cigarettes. So if you're going to, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to use Desmos calculator. And so we have 18.475 times 25, and that gives us 461.875 cents. 461.875. So that's cents. So that's not really useful for us, but that is going to be $4.62. I'm not sure. I guess because we're talking about something really small, they have it a long decimal behind your cents. But when we're all together, it makes more sense to have it in dollars. So then how much is HST on the pack? So we haven't talked a lot about HST, but HST in Ontario is 13%. So what we need to figure out here is we need to figure out the total pre-tax, pre-HST cost. So it's $15 plus $4.62. So that's going to be $19.62. And then the tax on that, so we would do 13% times $19.62. So using our calculator again. So here we have 19.62 times 0.13, and we get $2.55. So that is going to be the HST. And so what percent of the total price is taxes? So our total price is equal to $19.62 plus $2.55. So that's going to be $22.17 is your total price. Our taxes are $4.62 plus $2.55. So that equals $7.17. So the percent of taxes is $17.17 divided by $22.17, and that is equal to, using our calculator, so $7.17 divided by $22.17, and then we times that. Times that by 100 is 32.34%. So of the amount of the $22.17 that you are paying for a pack of cigarettes, 32% is in taxes. Alright, so now you're able to do the support questions on page 35 and 36. Questions 8 through 11 are the ones that talk about cigarette taxes. Alright, our next hidden tax is gasoline tax, and this is on page 36 of your IL book. So gasoline taxes are collected by both federal and provincial governments. HST is not added to the selling price of gasoline as it is already included. So again, so this is one. The other one's HST you add on top. For gasoline tax, the HST is built into the selling price of the gas. So in 2022, the federal gasoline tax is 10 cents per liter, and the provincial gasoline tax is 14 cents per liter. So if we have a gasoline tax, or sorry, if we're filling up a tank and we've got 35 liters, so the tax on that is going to be, so federal tax, remember, is 10 cents per liter. So that means if we're for 35 liters, we do 35 liters times 10 cents per liter. So that means the federal tax is going to be 35 times 10 cents. So that's 350 cents, which is equal to $3.50. Is how much federal tax that you'd pay on filling up to 35 liters. For provincial tax, remember it's 14 cents per liter. So again, it's 35 liters times 14 cents per liter, which is equal to, so we can do this. So it's going to be, so 10 cents times 35 is going to be 350 cents. And then 4 cents times 35, well, this we can use, actually we can use our doubling and halving. So this is just an aside. This is me thinking, so that you can see what I'm thinking. So 4 times 35, I don't know that, but what I would think of is 2 times, and so I halved 4 times to 2. I'm going to double 35, which I know is 70. So 2 times 70, I know is 140. So that's how we can use doubling halving when we're doing other problems. So I had 350 for 10 cents per liter and 440 for 4 cents per liter. So that's going to be 490 cents is equal to $4.90 for the provincial tax. So then the total gasoline tax is the two added together. So $3.50 plus $4.90, which is equal to, so here, how I would add this in my head is I'm going to make it a friendly number. I'm going to take 10 cents from 350 and add it to 490 because that's going to make me $5. And so then $5 plus $3 or $3.40 is going to be $8.40. So if you fill up 35 liters, if you put 35 liters of gas into your vehicle, $8.40 of what you're paying is your taxes on the gas. It's not part of the actual cost of the fuel, but that's the tax that's added on top of the fuel. Okay. So now you can do the support questions on page 36 to 37. Questions 12 to 14 are the ones that are related to the gasoline tax. Great, so that wraps up lesson 4. So between the previous lesson and today's lesson, hopefully you're feeling comfortable with all of the paying taxes. The first part of paying taxes. We're continuing the second half of lesson 5 talks about sales tax. So once we finish with this in our next session, then hopefully you'll be comfortable with all of the taxes that we'll be discussing in these lessons. So lesson 5 is about making purchases. So we are talking about, first we're going to start with making change, and this is on page 43 of your IL booklet. So if you work in a store, and if you've ever bought something from a store, you will see that the cash register calculates how much change you should give a customer. So it adds up and tells you how much you owe, and then they put in how much, whatever, if you're paying cash, how much cash you gave, and then the register subtracts that and figures out this is how much you owe the customer. However, it doesn't tell you what bills and coins you should use in order to, or that you need to give back. They just tell you this is how much in total, and you have to figure out what you should give back. Most people want to receive the least number of coins back and bills. They don't want you to give all in nickels or all in quarters or all in loonies. They want you to give things that make sense. So that's what we're going to be looking at here. There's also times when the customer gives more money than is required. So they aren't giving, you give some sort of seemingly random amount of money, and this is in order to reduce the number of coins that they receive in change. So you might give something that, so say that you pay something is $16 and you give $21, even though a $20 bill would be enough to pay the $16, and this is so that you get a $5 bill back instead of getting 2 toonies. So you need to sort of recognize that that's what we're looking for, people are looking for, opposed to giving 2 toonies and a loonie back. They don't want that loonie back. So counting up is a really common strategy for making change. So how this works is that you start off with your lowest denomination. So you use nickels to count up to the nearest 10 cents or 5 cents to round off your amount. Then you use dimes and nickels to count up to the nearest 25, 50, 75, or $1. Then you use quarters to count up to the next $1 if you need to, if it's not $1. And then you continue the same sort of idea with bills. So we'll go through what that looks like because it's a really useful thing if you are making change, and also if someone else is making change, so that you can track to make sure that you're getting the correct change back. So here we have some examples of change. So what's the change? So we have a chart, and it's a little bit fuzzy, but it hopefully will do. We can tell the difference. So we bought a pair of jeans, the cost including the tax, so we're not calculating tax, you've put it through the register and this is what it tells you. It's $32.41. And we're paying with coins, so we're paying with cash. So first off, because it's $32.41 and we're paying cash, we're going to round, because it is 41, that is going to become $32.40, right? Because we don't have pennies anymore. This picture has pennies, but we don't actually have pennies. It's an old diagram. So that's the first thing that we need to know. If we were paying by debit or credit or even e-transfer, then we would pay the 41 cents. We'd pay that 1 cent. Because we're paying cash, we don't pay that 1 cent. So we first need to figure out what coins to give, what money to give the clerk, and how much that is, and then we need to figure out how much we're going to get back. So we could just we have 2 $20 bills, a toonie, 2 loonies, 3 quarters, a dime, and 2 nickels. So we could just give $40. That is more than $32.40. And then we then we see what change we get back. We could do something different. There are multiple ways to answer this, and that is totally fine. Let's just start with that. Let's do the 2 20s. Because many folks want to do that to just make their life simpler and makes it go fastest. They're just going to pay. They know that 2 20s covers it, and they don't have to deal with the change. So that's going to be $40 that they paid with. So how much change are they going to need to get back? So if you paid $40, so then we're going to subtract $32.40 from that. And so if we did this if you're at a till, so They know that put in that in the cash that you paid $40, and so then the cash calculates. It does $32, take away 40 cents, and says $7.60. So that means that you are going to get in change $7.60, which means that you're probably going to get a $5 bill, a $2 bill, sorry, a $2 bill, or sorry, a toonie. They don't have bills anymore. And then maybe two quarters and a dime. So you gave 2 bills, you ended up getting a bill and 4 coins back. So that may or may not make you happy. So let's think about what we could do instead. So if we didn't want to have, so that get us, so our method 1, we got 1 bill and 4 coins back. So if we did it a different way, let's just erase all of this. Is there a way that we could get less bills and coins back? So we still need to pay the because in order to, we have a 20, we have 2 20s, there's no other way to get over $32 without the 2 20s. So we're still going to pay, we're still going to give the 2 20s, but if we give a toonie, now we've paid $42, and then if we give 25 cents and 10 cents, so that's 35 cents, and 5 cents, that's 40 cents. So we have paid $42.40. So if they put that into the cash, they get $42.40, and we needed to pay $32.40. So now if we subtract that, we're just owed $10. And so we're going to get probably a $10 bill. And so our method 2 means that we get 1 bill back. And we've also used up a bunch of our coins, so we don't have as many coins. The amount of money that we end up having in our pocket is exactly the same, but it's just that now we have it in bill form opposed to a whole bunch of change form, which might make you happy. Okay, so then let's look at our second example. Again, you could do both these ways. One way is not more accurate than the other. It's just a matter of what is it a matter of you just want to do it fast and just pay the 2 20s, or if you want to get rid of your change and have more bills and less change in your pocket. That is sort of what you need to decide. Okay, so the next one is the PS3 game, which is $64.73. Remember, this is after tax. So first we have to, for paying cash, so this is $64, and then 73 cents is going to be rounded up to 75 cents. So to pay this, we're going to say, okay, we have 3 20s, a 10, a 5, 2 toonies, 2 loonies, and 2 quarters. So we're going to need to pay the 3 20s because that is $60, and then we can pay the $10. Then we're going to get a bunch of change back. We pay the $5, then we're not going to get as much change back. We could use 2 toonies, and that's $4, and then we just need to pay 70 cents. We have 2 quarters. That's not enough for 75 cents, but we have a loonie. So we could pay, I probably, because I'm the queen of exact change, or close to as possible. Makes my partner annoyed because I take a long time with the cash. So I probably would pay 2 toonies and 1 loonie to get rid of coins. So that would mean that I would pay $65. So if I pay $65 and the cost was $64.75, so that means that I'm going to need 25 cents in return. So I'm just going to get a quarter back, and that works for me. Again, you could do it in various other ways, but that's the way that makes the most sense in my brain. And it's fine to do it other ways, but that's just one way. Okay, so the next example is the idea of being careful to catch other folks in case that they make errors. So some employees make hundreds of cash transactions each shift, and errors are made. It makes sense. So we're going to find and fix the errors because that's important as a consumer, that you know that you're getting back the right change. You want to make sure that you're not getting ripped off. So here, part A, you owed $4.14. You gave the cashier 10 cents or $10 back, and you got $5.75 in change. So first, this is going to be $4.15. So if you paid $10, let's just first let's do this over here. So to find out if we have too much or too little, so $10 take away $4.15. You don't have to do this in your head. You can use a calculator. That is totally fine. So we had $10 take away $4.15, and that's $5.85. So $5.85 is what you should have received. And we got a $5 back and 3/4, which is 75 cents. So that's too little. So you are getting ripped off 10 cents. So you should have gotten a $5 bill and 3/4. So 25 cents times 3, and then a 10 cents times 1. And that would have given you your correct change. Okay, second one, we have, you owed $32.55. That doesn't need to be rounded, that's exact. You paid $40, and you got 2, 4, 6, $7.55 back. So you paid $40, you got $7.55 back. So how much? Sorry, I did that wrong. That's not what we wanted. How much should we have gotten back? We paid $32.55. This is why writing down what you're doing makes a lot of sense, because then you can, one, catch yourself when you're making an error, or two, if you make an error and you follow through, then I know where you made an error. So you should have gotten $7.45 back. You got $7.55 back, so you got too much. So really, you should have had, you could have still gotten the tooties times 3 and the dollar times 1, so that's still $7. And then you should have gotten 45 cents, so that's 25 cents times 1, and then maybe 2 dimes, 10 cents, would have given you 45 cents. So that's why it's really important to, because you maybe will get too little change back sometimes, and too much change back other times, and it can be really close, and it might also be really far. So it's important to be able to track that so that you know for yourself. All right, you can do the IEL questions on page 43 to 44. Questions 1 through 3 are the support questions that we've just covered. And then now finally we're going to talk about getting back the fewest coins. This is on page 44. We've talked about that a little bit already, but we're just going to keep going through, continuing it. So when paying with cash, we generally want to pay with as many coins from our pocket and to receive the least number of coins in return. That just means that we have less heaviness in our pocket, in our purse, or wherever. So for example, if we had a bill of, we paid something that is $11.29, which becomes $11.30. If we have the exact amount, $11.30, we don't get any change. If we pay $11.35 or $11.50, we get some small coin change. If we paid $12.30, $15.30, or $20.30, we would get full dollars amount. If we paid $12.35, $12.50, $15.35, $15.50, $20.35, $20.50, we would result in full dollar and small change coins. So it really depends on what you have and what coins and bills you have and what makes your life the easiest. There's like an infinite ways that you can pay. It's just a matter of what's going to make your life easiest. Lots of folks just pay with bills and then end up with a whole bunch of coins because that feels like the simplest, but it means that you're carrying a whole bunch of coins and then it's like you're almost losing that money because you never spend that money. All right, so what is the change again? So we had, in this example, we have dinner for two, which cost $33.12. We have, again, 2 20s, a toonie, 2 loonies, 3 quarters, a dime, and 2 nickels, and pennies. We're going to not do the pennies. $33.12 becomes $33.10. So we want to give the most of our coins and get the least back. That's what we're hoping for. So we could just pay with our two $20 bills, but that might not minimize the amount of coins that we get back. So we do need to pay the $2.20. We need to do at least the 2 20s because otherwise we're not over $33.10. But now I see that we have a toonie and a loonie, so that's going to be $3. So if I do a toonie times 1 and a loonie times 1, now I've paid $43. And then I have a dime, so then I can pay 10 cents times 1, and so that means I've paid $43.10, which I need to get a $10 back, which means the lowest number of bills and coins I should receive is 1 bill. And that means I've got rid of 3 coins and I've received 1 bill back. That just means that I have less change in my pocket. That makes me happy. Okay, so now the next one is an NHL replica jersey for $61.45. So we have 3 20s, so we're going to need to use all 3 of those to get to $60. And then I need to get $1.45. Well, I have a loonie, so that's $1. It's going to be the $1, and then I have 2 quarters, so 25 cents times 2 is 50 cents. So that means I've paid $61.55, which means I need to get 10 cents change, which means I can get 1 coin back in change. I got rid of 3 coins and 3 bills, and I got 1 coin in change. So that makes me happy. I'm not loading down my pockets. All right, so now you can do the support questions on page 44. Question number 4 was about the fewest coins. All right, so let's consolidate what we have learned today. So first, on the highlights for lesson 4, the paying taxes, just with today's. So the hidden taxes, remember, where the jewelry tax is 10% of the wholesale price. Cigarette tax is 18.475 cents per cigarette. Gasoline tax is federal 10% per liter and Ontario 14% per liter. Sorry, cent, not percent. 14 cents per liter. So at this point, you should be able to calculate indirect taxes on cigarettes, jewelry, and gasoline. And then lesson 5 highlights. So making purchases. We talked about making change, so specifically about counting up and how that can be a really useful strategy. Then, as a consumer, it's important to be comfortable making change in case cashiers make an error, so you want to make sure that you're not getting ripped off because someone else makes a mistake. Mistakes totally happen all the time, and that's fine, but you want to make sure that you are protecting your funds as best as your ability. The fewest coins possible. Generally, we want to use the most coins to pay and receive the least coins in return, just because that means that we are carrying around less coins, and it's easy. It just makes your life easier, probably, to keep track of your money. So success criteria 2 is you can determine change received in a variety of ways of purchases. Hopefully you're comfortable in lots of ways now. Alright, so as I said earlier, lesson 5 will be continued in our next session. So we will do the sales tax in our next lesson, and then that will wrap up our lesson 5 and lesson 4. So lesson 4 we've completed now, and lesson 5 we will wrap up in our next session, and then you will be completed going through unit 1 and moving on to unit 2 So at this point, you could send in, once we're finished lesson 5 in our next session, you can send in your work if you want to send in all of Unit 1. If you have any questions, please reach out and contact me. Again, this is what I'm here for. This is my job, is to help you and clarify anything. So you can call me at the office at 807-737-1488, extension 2209. A reminder, if I don't return your call and you leave a message for me, I don't have access to my voicemail right now. Hopefully that's going to change, but I don't. So give me another call and try to reach me directly. You can call toll free at 1-800-667-3703. You can email me at bronwyn.slate, which is spelled BRONWYN.SLATE at nnec.on.ca. You can Facebook message me at bslatewasa, and you can connect with the replays of our lessons on YouTube at bslatewasa. So that's a great way to go over this material if you need to. My office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, so those are the best times to reach me and the times that I'm most likely to reconnect with you. If you need time outside of that time, just connect with me and we can maybe schedule something that works for both of us.